Hey guys, in today's video we'll do a quick Q&A. I've got some questions asked on Facebook and from my previous live streams. So basically I will answer all of these and hopefully I will give you guys the best answers that you were looking for. So let's go straight into it. Yesterday I asked you guys to post your questions in the comment section of the post on my Facebook page. I've got a few of them, so I'll answer all of these first and then we'll go to some other questions that have been asked throughout the last couple of days. First question is from Aidenberg. Hi Aiden, I hope you're watching. Do you build your cars just like the manual or do you have any secret tips? There are a few, of course. When we develop a new car we try to include all of the things that we have learned from racing in the manual. So usually the tips are in the manual and basically the manual is how you should build the car. Although throughout the couple of months of driving the car we find out some different and better things and then we change them a bit compared to the manual. If you'd like, let me know. I'll do a video about how I build my cars and what to do different from the manual. Question number 2 from David Home. What's your favorite surface to race on, dirt, astro or carpet, and why? I'm not really sure what my favorite surface is. Usually I always enjoy driving on whatever surface, doesn't matter if it's clay, dirt or carpet. Of course I drive on carpet the most because of the EOS series and basically how the racing in Europe is. Then is turf because of the UK tracks, and AstroTurf is getting really popular in Europe and around the world right now. But I always love to race on dirt. I like the low grip, I like the challenge, so I cannot really pick one favorite, but I know that every surface is fun to drive and I always enjoy going to whatever track it is. Question number 3. Will we see you compete at the race again? Question from Jeff Werner. Yes, unfortunately I had to miss the relay race this year because of some of my school work and how much racing I had in January because of the 12K Worlds, British GP and then EOS. So unfortunately I had to miss this one this year, and but I will be back definitely, hopefully in 2022. 21, 22 as well. So hopefully I will be there soon, and I always enjoy this race. It is very challenging, very hard because of the tire prep and how the whole race is, but I always enjoy the challenge and hopefully I'll be able to fight for the win one year. Before we go to the next question, if you haven't already subscribed, click that icon right here so you don't miss any of my future videos. I think this is question number 4 now, from Felix Stammer. Have you ever tried the front inserts on the Tour Drive on carpet? I assume you're asking about the Tour Drive Schumacher fronts, and I've never tried because I always run the pre-glued like at the EOS, so I always have the same feeling of the tires like EOS whenever I go testing or to a different race. So I always use pre-glued, so I've never tried inserts in the front. Another question from Ben Chalice. Hi, are the cars you run standard with parts that you can get from Schumacher, or have you mostly got new prototype parts on? This is a really good question. Usually when a new car comes out, usually I have the car that anyone can have, but as you all know, we always try to get faster and develop our cars, so I usually have a few small bits that we're trying out and we first go testing with them and to a different track, and then if we like it we go to a bigger race with it and see how it works, and then that's how we can develop the best products out there and bring it to you guys. And this is really important for any brand to use the prototype parts, because when we go to a race they're used in the extreme conditions where they have to work and they have to meet our expectations, and then only then after we test them for a while we can give it to you guys to have them. So we always try to give you the best products, which we have to test first so you don't have any problems with them and you enjoy using them. I think we went through about 5 questions, so it's time to change the scenery really fast. Let's do the next one now. A question from Lee Fido. Do you ever modify your rear inserts on carpet, and which do you prefer? I always, as I've mentioned before, another question, I always run the pre-glued tires, so I never modify the inserts because I can't. If I would run a not pre-glued tire, maybe, but as I said, I always run pre-glued, but I always cut the outside rows on the rear tires, so the side pins, I cut both sides in both cars. So that's a quick little tip for you guys. Maybe you can go faster with it. Question from Krzysztof Wierzbański. Thank you for the question. That's a really nice Polish last name. I was wondering, are fine setup adjustments of a car more to the individual driver style than the track? Once the basics have been taken care of, can one setup suit most drivers? So basically, if you race usually on carpet, you can have your base setup, which is good for you, and this is a setup for each driver is different. Like in our team, me and Jorn are completely different driving styles, and our setups are usually way different. So you should really find your own setup. You can look at the professional setups are on the website, like my setups or your setups or any other Schumacher driver, or if you're driving an other brand, then go to the website, see what the pros are driving, and then maybe start with something that you found and then fine tune it to your liking for that track, and then you can have your base setup for each surface. So you go to a track which you don't know about and you don't really know how the grip will be and how's the track generally, but you know which surface. So start with that, with the setup that you have developed, your base setup, and then fine tune the setup to your liking. Never really follow someone at the track to what they're doing, because usually driving styles are much different. Then maybe the tires he's using are different, tire prep is different. So you really have to work by yourself on your setup. Of course, get some opinions or advices from other people, but you really have to have your own setup, because driving style is so different for any driver, and the setup varies from the driving style. The next question is from Tanya Barker. Thank you for the question. Tires. Do you think that your tire prep is on par with US drivers on dirt, and what do you think about the tire game? Well, in Europe we don't race too much dirt, and if we race dirt, then the tire prep is really easy because we cannot really do anything to the tire. So we just glue the tires, maybe modify the insert a bit, but we cannot use tire sauce or anything like that. So for us it's much easier, and I know in the US it's really difficult and it takes time to learn it. And when I was at the Ridge Race a few times already, it's always been the game changer for us, how we prep the tires, and we always look for advice from the locals or from the Team Schumacher USA. So recently we found our way for the tire prep, so I think we just need to go there to US, to the Ridge Race, and just learn and gain the experience. So then in the future we can fight for the win. But definitely it's a huge thing in off-road in the US. In Europe not so much, and that's why Europeans usually struggle at the Ridge Race, and Jorn is the only European driver to win the Ridge Race ever, so it is really difficult for us. I've lost count of the questions already answered, so the next question is from Warren Nelson. Hi Michael, will Schumacher offer dirt spec transmission in future like X-Ray and AE? We have our KD car, which is basically our dirt spec. So for now we have the laydown, which is our carpet, AstroTurf, and like higher to medium grip clay, and then we have the KD, which we quite rarely run. So for now we are really happy with what we have. Question from Jamison Richard. It is a pretty long question, so I'll divide it into parts. So the first one is, what do the quick clips on the front end of laydown do to the setup? Basically we have the adjustable wheelbase in the front of the car, so if we move the clips to the back, we push the wheels forward, which makes the wheelbase longer. This makes the car easier to drive, less steering, basically takes away grip from the front of the car. And if we go the other way, so the clips forward, then we shorten the wheelbase, which makes the car a bit more aggressive. The other thing we can adjust with the clips is the hub height. If we go higher, it makes the car easier to drive. When we go lower, it makes it a bit more aggressive on entry steering. So if the clips are at the top, hub is low, and the clips are at the bottom, hub is high. If one is at the bottom, one is on the top, it's middle. Pretty easy, really cool to have this possibility to quickly change the hub height, but we need to remember about the ride height, that it changes same time when you change your hub height. Second part of the question is how can they help to make quick adjustments? I think I've explained enough already. Then the next one is also rear toe angle on high grip black US carpet. As you may know from my setups on the Schumacher website, I always run 0.5 toe-in on carpet, EOS carpet. Basically less toe-in, a bit more rotation, a bit more steering, but it also makes the tire wear a bit higher. So if you want to go faster with less toe-in, you need to use more tires, so you need to remember about that. And the last part is how can I use to find more corner speed? And I think I've already explained, basically more steering usually equals more corner speed, but you need to remember that you need to keep the balance of the car right, and also when you have more corner speed, the car is a bit harder to drive. So this is very important to remember and to have in the back of your mind. Last couple of questions. First of them is from Jonathan Boy. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. When do you change shock oil versus number of holes and sizes? So usually we always change the shock oil. The number of holes and the sizes of the holes in the piston, we usually stick with the same one, because from what we have developed in the past and we like to stick with it. So usually it's always the same. I'll only change the shock oil and it's always easier to change. But this is, you know, it is really good to play with the holes and sizes. It's a good tuning. So if you have time, I suggest you try out different ones. Question from Darren Ford. Hi Michael, well done at the Worlds in Milton Keynes. Thank you very much. What LRP products did you use and what were your charge rates, storage rates and overall experience of the event? I used the LRP 1S 8000 battery. I used a LRP prototype Speedo for the 1S racing, and I used the LRP X22 3.5 turn motor in my Schumacher Eclipse 3. And what were your charge rates? So the maximum on our charger is 12 amps, so I charged with 12 amps, and my storage rate was 3.83 volts per cell. And my overall experience of the event was very good. Schumacher team did very well. I was a bit disappointed not to take the win in my first IFMOR World title after taking the DQ, but at least Mark won with the Schumacher car, and the stock class was won by Andy Murray, which he deserved a lot, and he has worked so much on developing the car, and I think we have showcased our strength in the 12 skill class. So hopefully I'll be able to win the next one, or at least compete for the win in 2 years. Question from Scott Karcheski. Hi Scott, how are you doing in the US? What is the purpose of transmission riser on L1 Evo and when do you use it? So I always run it on carpet. Basically what it does is when we do really low ride height on carpet I usually run like 12 mil in my 4-drive car. Then the roll center is much lower than it should be, so basically rising the gearbox makes the angle of the wishbones the same as it would be with a bit higher ride height. So basically just helps to place the roll center in the correct position, which makes the car a bit more flat in the corner from what we have tested, and basically faster. So that's why I always use it on high grip carpet when I run very low ride height. And the last question of the video, I hope it wasn't too long and you guys bared with me to the end, from Marco Links. Thank you Marco for the question. Go through my cars and share some tips. If you'd like to see a video like that, please let me know down in the comment section below. It will be a bit longer video, and I don't want to share it right now because the video would be too long. So I can make a separate one about my 2-drive Schumacher Cougar laydown and 4-drive Schumacher Cat L1 Evo, and I can go through my cars and basically show you guys how to build them, about setup tips or something like that. So please let me know if you'd like to see something like that, and then I'll make a video for you. If you would like to see my previous video how to become a better RC driver, click the link right here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope some of you at least stayed until the end. I hope it helped all of you. If you would like to see part 2 of the Q&A version of my video, please let me know. Smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, make sure the bell is on, and let me know if you'd like to see part 2. And for now, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.